I've been asked to speak and say the obvious, why domestic mechanisms will not work in Sri Lanka. That's quite obvious, but it may be important to just trace back a few events from the past. In 2006, there was a commission of inquiry set up under international pressure by the previous Rajapaksa government to inquire into serious human rights violations. There were 15 or 16 cases identified. And then there was another panel set up to monitor its work. That was called IJEP, International Independent Group of Eminent Persons, headed by Justice Bhagwati. After a while, Justice Bhagwati's commission, or the eminent group of persons, withdrew their mandate and stated that they cannot continue this work because Sri Lanka lacks the political will to investigate serious violations of human rights in the country. Now, this has again been reflected in the High Commissioner's report. I can see at paragraph 56, she says Sri Lanka's, calls it inability and unwillingness to pursue a path towards accountability. So, we've had many instances, too numerous to recount, but there have been some cases where they have done a showcase trial and convicted one or two individuals in the past. But even in those instances, we saw how on appeal they were acquitted. Except one single case, all of those prosecutions have ended up with the acquittal, or even when the highest court confirmed the conviction and sentence, there had been executive pardon given. The most recent being that of Army Sergeant Sunil Ratnayaka, who was found guilty by a 3-judge panel, and then later his conviction and sentence were confirmed by a 5-judge panel of the Supreme Court, murdering 5 persons, including a toddler and another child, by slitting their throats. Now he is a free person. He's been pardoned by the present president. Between 2015 and 2019, while the Sri Lankan government co-sponsored resolutions at the UN Human Rights Council, we had a window opportunity, or so we thought, of the government agreeing and working towards proper accountability mechanism, a hybrid court, and so the details of that were spelled out in 30/1 with the participation of international judges, prosecutors, investigators, etc. But even when the Sri Lankan government co-sponsored resolutions 3 times, the government back home told the people that they will not allow foreigners to participate in these proceedings as judges. So the intention was clear. Even when they told the international community that they would do it, and they repeated it twice for local consumption, it was very clear that they were not going to do it. And now, of course, the new second Rajapaksa regime has officially written to the Human Rights Council that they will not cooperate in any of these matters. Not just the accountability, but also in matters concerning reconciliation, which is very important, because the guarantee of non-recurrence can only happen through a process in which all peoples in Sri Lanka can feel and know that they're equal citizens. And so the new constitution has to be created with proper power sharing arrangements. We did that for a while, an exercise during the last government, but that fell apart when the government also fell. The accountability issue, though, will not move in the UN Human Rights Council. We know that. We've tried that for 11 years, and even with co-sponsorship by the Sri Lankan government, it did not even start off. And so the only option that we have is the International Criminal Court. There is no other option at present. Sri Lanka is not a signatory to Rome Statute, and therefore cannot be compelled. Sri Lankan citizens cannot be compelled and brought before that court, except through a Security Council resolution, and that seems too far-fetched, given the friends Sri Lanka has, who are permanent members, who have right of veto, etc. But nevertheless, for lack of any other mechanism, we've now started a process of asking the international actors to start on a path towards the ICC. Of course, universal jurisdiction, sanctions, particularly travel bans targeting individuals, will be very, very effective, and that countries that are committed to human rights values should pursue. We've so far had only one person travel ban, but if we escalate that, I think the message will be delivered that impunity cannot continue forever. It's been a long, hard road for the victims, and they've lost any hope. Yet they strive for justice, and as someone who represents that community and those people who still come on the street, and as Stephen said when he met some of them, that's the kind of experience we have day in and day out. We have to do justice for those people. It is for the sake of those people, as well as for the sake of future generations, because if impunity is not nipped in the bud, as Stephen said, it becomes a pandemic. Thank you.